Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to yet another Frieren Friday. Today we're checking out episode number 22. We finished trial 1 in the previous episode. It was an incredible trial. I really loved getting to meet the new characters. I want to continue to learn more about these new characters. They are very interesting to me, and they just have a lot of... It seems like they've got a lot of potential and a lot of hidden depth that we don't know quite enough about, especially characters like Veerbel and Dankin. Those two characters seem to be very potentially relevant to the future of the series. And yeah, I hope that we get to see more of characters like that, and maybe some others like Land, and of course our new favorite troublemaker Ubel. Who knows what's coming from them? I have no idea. I'm very excited to see more. This has been an incredible arc so far. I'm very excited that we're continuing within this arc, and I don't know what's going to come next. Are we going to get more mage versus mage action? Are we going to get more of a battle of the wits type thing? Like, what's the next trial going to be? The next one will be conducted by Sensei or Zensei. Zense? I'm not sure how to pronounce that correctly, but I know that she seemed to be very much against the whole mage versus mage, you know, battle of just raw strength bullshit and, you know, depending on luck. So I'm suspecting that she will use more of an intuition or knowledge based test. So for all I know, it could literally just be a written test. It could literally just be sit down and answer some questions. That's maybe what I'll expect from this, but yeah, not going to get much longer. Just very excited to see what we get in the next one. I wonder if this one will jump into the second trial already, or if we will more so be leading up to it, because they did say we had 3 days before the second trial would begin. So yeah, if you guys enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and comment down below letting me know which of these characters is your favorite that we met within this arc. And of course, if you want to be notified when these Frieren videos go live on Fridays, please hit the bell down below, the notification bell, and you will be notified when these videos go live, and of course any other videos on the channel. And yeah, that's gonna do it for my yapping. Right now, I am gonna just dive right into this. So yeah, Frieren, episode 22, let's go. Okay, we're kicking things right off where we left off. I like that we get these little 10-second oh shit, okay, it's showing everyone. Okay, third party's gone. Yeah, there were a lot of teams taken out there. Only 6 teams remained, right? Is that what it said? 18 people. 18 mages. Okay. Episode 22, Future Enemies. Is that relating to the fact that even though you were in teams with some of these people, you can't really call them your friends? They are your future enemies? Is that the idea? Little Stark just getting some sleep. Damn, his life is so boring right now, is it? It's not? I would have thought you would have wanted something, but then again, you were always the sort of person who would run from things before you met up with Frieren. Well, it's not that you would run, but you wouldn't take action, I guess. I don't know. Is it Fern? Hi. Now that they're finished? It is.
Frieren, 一級魔法使いの試験に行ってたんじゃ。
第一次試験が終わって、昨日の夜に帰ってきました。
And they waited till morning to tell you.
今。
You haven't left bed yet. What's happening? Damn, what are they gonna do without you, Fern? Like a child. What else? What? Not the juice. Oh yeah, but you gotta give her a hammering too. You said to Ubel you would give her a mouthful, you would give her a piece of what you had on your mind. Something good? What defines good? Ooh. Oh. Hell yeah, it'll still be here. Flashback time. We're looking for spells? Oh, not flashback, never mind. This is the guy who tried to kill the kids, and he's just working as like a tinker type thing? Huh. Richter, that's his name, yeah. Is he a good guy after looking like he was gonna try and kill kids? I mean, I understand that, you know, it's in the nature of the exam and everything like that. Was he given salt? Oh, that's your grandmother?
私みたいな年寄りから見たら子供のままさ。好きだったろそれ。
Aw, is that candy? And you're a child to Frieren and Denkin.
悪いな。もう店じまいだ。イカれたじいさんに殴り合いの喧嘩をやらされたものでな。
Yeah.
体を休めないといけないんだ。
なら飯でも一緒にどうだ。探している店があるのだが、わしとラオヘンでは土地勘がなくて
Oh,
な。
are they gonna end up in the same place as Frieren?
じいさんに買ってもらった。あげないよ。
He
おい
bought me
完全に孫
donuts.
じゃねえか。俺たちはもうパーティーじゃない。
We're future enemies.
処世術がなっておらんな。魔法使いとして生きていくのなら、わしの機嫌は取っておいて損はないぞ。
That's true. He is an imperial mage after all, whatever that means.
妻と。
Oh, is that who you want to go
生前
see?
妻と一緒に行った店でな。その味が忘れられん。
That's sad.
おごりだろうな。
But she's buried all the way in the north. Interesting. Is that where she was from before she traveled south? And now it's Lan's turn. A kitty! Aww. So cute. Aww. Do you have mommy issues? Is that your thing, Land? Or do you just feel like you don't have anyone you belong to kind of thing?
ユーベル。
はじめましてだね。街中ではさすがに分身じゃないよ。
Ah, you knew it was a
世間
clone.
話なら歩きながらでもいいかな。
いいけどさ、走って逃げたりしたら殺しちゃうかも。
Of course. She's got such evil looking eyes.
人を殺すことを何とも思ってないでしょう。なんでビアベルを殺さなかったの？
Yeah.
殺すチャンスあ
I
った
mean,
でしょ。
she was going to.
油断も隙もないね。
Is it because he didn't want to fight you to kill, or is it his outlook on life that interested you?
共感しちゃったからかな。私も殺すまでの猶予が欲しくなった。
Interesting.
体が動かない。これは。
Have you learned that
そ
spell
れが
now?
ニール。見たものを拘束する魔法。
You've learned the spell?
その人が得意とする魔法は
Oh,
人生や人間性に大きく関わっている。共感できることでその魔法が使えるようになる。
Huh?
共感できない魔法は使えない。
How does that work? That's so
君の
random.
分身は本人と同一の機能を持つほどの完璧な複製だ。君は何を思ってどんな人生を歩んできたの？
It's a life of being an outsider.
君って感覚で魔法を使うタイプなんだ。その魔法がどんな原理で動いているのかも知らずにそのまま使っちゃうタイプ。
That's going to be your downfall, Ubel. Because you're going to face Fern, and Fern knows all about that shit. She's been training.
気に食わ
She
ない
knows the
から教え
fundamentals.
てやんないって言ってるんだ。
Oh, I don't like you very much.
別に僕を殺したっていいよ。そんなことをしたら二度と共感はできないと思うけど。
Damn. Don't kill him. Yeah. There's no reason to kill him.
いいよ。君という人間が少し分かった気がする。
Let's go for dinner, perhaps?
これからどこに行くつもりだったの？
さあね。ついてくるなよ。
目の付けどころが良かったな、デンケン。ここはこの町で一番うまい店だ。俺もよく来る。
Can't be that expensive if you come here all the time.
50年も前だが、当時の雰囲気のままだ。
Damn, there's nobody in.
本当ですか？
Except Fern, Frieren, and Stark.
いくらでも頼んでいいんです。
Order whatever you want. Are there 3 more seats at that table?
誕生日でもないのにこんな贅沢。
You deserve it,
放っ
Fern.
ておけ。楽しそうではないか。食事は楽しんでするものだ。
This is true. I like your
わしも
outlook,
そのため
Danken.
に来た。
An omelet? All those steaks! Wow! I would have thought it would be Stark to get all those desserts.
フリーレン様ってたまにこういうことしますよね。
Jeez, that's a lot of steaks, Frieren. What the hell?
家宝の包丁を魔族から取
The
り戻してく
exact
ださい
same meal.
ありがとうございます。この世紀
Wow.
の天才料理人レッカーが最大限のもてなしと可能な限りの報酬をお渡ししましょう。
Lecker.
すごい量です
Demon
ね。
knives.
ここの
Oh,
美味しいからね
Stark ordered the same
たっぷり
as
味わわないとね。
Himmel.
一度にそんなに食べなくてもまた来ればいいじゃないか。
There's always next
そう
time.
思って二度と食べられなくなった味がたくさんあるからね。
Aw.
ご安心くださいフリーレン様。当店の味は後世まで残すつもりです。100年後も200年後
Hell
も。
yeah. And I can't wait to run into
面白いよね。
whoever it is that's
料理
chefing
人はみんな
these
そう言う
days.
そう言って過去の料理の味を変えて爪痕を残そうとする。
Changing flavors.
その時は
So it's
も
not
っと
the
美
same.
味しい味を探しに行けばいい。
Aw.
お言葉ですがヒンメル様、私を超える味などこの世にありませんよ。
ならしっかり未来まで届けるんだ。それが僕が要求する今回の方針だ。
Aw, that's nice. Make those flavors last
勇
forever.
者様の頼みとあらば、今まで料理人が成し遂げられなかった偉業を果たしてみせましょう。
So Frieren can return and taste the exact same food, the same flavors. That's a sad way of thinking about it, though.
これめちゃくちゃうまいぞ。
Aw.
こんなに幸せでいいのでしょうか。
Even simple things like flavors that you've experienced never being able to.
あれだけ意気込んでおいて
Really?
変わってるじゃん。
Aw.
もっと美味しい味を探す手間は省けた。あの時よりもずっと美味しい。
Really? Aw, that's nice. But I'm sure that it was still passed on.
野菜も食べんといかんぞ。
Eh?
完全におじいちゃんじゃねえか。
ほう、意外と小食なんだね。
They're all here together. But nobody's interacting with one another, which is interesting. Oh, look at her. I've never seen Fern this happy before.
ところでお金は大丈夫なのか？
Oh,
へそくりなくなっちゃっ
no.
た。
Aw.
これぞ無の境地。
Oh, man?
よくぞ武の真髄までたどり着いた。
Oh, shit. We're gonna train? Hand-to-hand combat? What? Stark, you've surpassed him? You've surpassed his teachings? What are you gonna do all this
あ
time,
のおじ
Stark?
いさん誰？
知らない人。なんか修行してると話しかけてくるの。
Really? That's so funny.
まあいいや。ちょっといい？力を借りたいんだけれども。
Okay. Some Stark content. That's nice. Oh, she's grumpy.
むちゃくちゃ怒ってる。
But we just fed her
じゃ
yesterday.
ねえか。
Why is she so mad about?
何やったんだよ。
今日の買い出し当番は
Oh no, free reign. Little wonder she's grumpy.
なんで今更。
フェルンは積もりに積もって爆発するタイプなの。
Yeah, we all know people like that.
口を聞いてくれる。
Oh no, that's the worst.
お願いだよ、シュタルク。仲裁してよ。
Mediation.
私だと話してくれないのよ。
She'll talk to
やだ
you.
よ怖いもん。フェルンさん。本人もこうして反省しているわけですし。
食べたい。
え？
おやつ食べたい。
She's speaking up. She's saying what she wants. What could reconcile the situation?
じゃあみんなで買いに行こうぜ。
へそくりまだあったかな。
You just spent all your savings and now you're over here like, wow, well, time to pull out of my savings again.
お前選手だろ。
Oh, you're trying to hire someone.
何ですか。
どうだ。
You're trying to recruit a warrior?
ダメだな。こいつじゃ。
Ah, you're gonna eye up Stark, aren't you? He's gonna stumble into Stark and be like, hey, join me.
いつにも増して可愛い格好だね。
Wow.
兄貴たちがデートから帰ってきてんだよ。
This Howl's Moving Castle sounding music with her wearing like a very Sophie kind of look.
一切止めやし
She's so not into it. It's so funny.
優秀な兄貴たちと比べられるのは地獄だぜ。なほら行くぞ。息が詰まりそうだ。
Ooh.
じゃあ今日は私のエスコートするね。ラビーナちゃん。
Little Miss Lavine. They're cute. They're very cute together. Never mind. Kane over here acting adorable and Lavine is like, I'm not about that.
フェルンさん、どれにしましょうか。
別にどれでも。シュタルクさん。
I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate having pressure like that. Oh no. She wants you to prove that you know what she wants. She wants you to prove you know her. This is the end.
あれフリーレンじゃねえか
Absolutely. Say hi.
ちょうどよかった。宿に
Wow,
遊
they're
びに
just
行こう
Oh,
following
か
us
と思
now?
ってたところなんだ。フリーレンにはたくさん
Really helpful? What do you mean helpful? She's the reason you passed.
先生みたいだった。
二人が喧嘩するせいでね
ラビーネが悪い。
That's true. No, it wasn't.
女の子ばっかりで居心地悪いな
Come on, start. There it is. Knew this was coming.
ちょっとやだ何
お前すごくいいな大陸魔法協会から農作物を荒らすフレッサーの討伐依頼を受けている
Oh shit.
前衛を探していたんだ試験であったなこいつお前の仲間か
Can I borrow him for this one task? Damn, that's how we get Stark out of our way for a while. He's no longer surrounded by girls at least. Bye bye,
フ
Stark.
リーレン。これお礼ね。
お礼なんてもらうようなことしてないよ
It's a girls' day.
フリーレンがいなかったら私たちは第二次試験まで
This is
進めなかった
ありがとう。
I wonder if one of the tests is going to be
ありがとう。
a 1v1 type thing.
メル様。
Maybe the third test?
もう心配ないよ
Aw.
パパとママが待ってるよ
ヒンメルはなんで人助けをするの
Why do you help people? That's a loaded question.
そういうことじゃなくて
That's what a hero
そうだ
does.
ねもしかしたら自分のためかもな誰かに少しでも自分のことを覚えていてもらいたいのかもしれない
But then also it's to see people smile, right?
誰かに知ってもらって覚えていてもらうことだ
And
覚えていて
you're
もらうため
remembering
に
him.
どうすればいいんだろ
ほんの少しでいい
Aww.
誰かの人生を変えてあげればいい
It's hard for Frieren knowing she'll outlive them. But then think about all those years you were gone from Himmel and he remembered you very like a lot. And now you're seeing that you've changed these girls' lives and you're making them smile and yeah. Oh, look at that smile. Oh, it's adorable.
このもらったお菓子めちゃくちゃ美味しいですよ。
やっと機嫌治った そういえばフリーレン2日目の朝はなかなか起きなかったな
Oh
この話は
no.
やめてまた機嫌が悪くなっちゃう一級試験は例年通りなら第三次試
Okay,
験
that's what I was thinking. I thought it would be
次から
three.
は敵同士だな
Future
そうだね。
enemies. Here it comes. Here's our invitation. Here's the information we need.
次の試験の通知ですね。第二次試験の会場と日時、
Location and
それ
date.
と担当の試験官の名前です
Zensei,
ね。
right?
試験
Or
官は
Sensei?
前世か
Zensei.
ついてねえな
Our luck ran
せっ
out?
かく第一次試験に受かったのに。
Oh no, is she known to be
どういうこ
harsh?
とですか。
前世の担当した試験は過去4回
Oh.
いずれも合格者は0人だ
Oh, oh my. Oh no, that's crazy work. Is she proctoring it because they knew they had some really high prospects this time around and so they gotta clamp down on that? Not everyone will pass. Ubel's so funny. She's really just trying to get up with land right now so she can learn about him. Wow, what the hell?
肉うまいなお前すげえな
The essence of martial arts, that's what we heard earlier.
なんてひどい試験
A
だよ
dreadful test.
そう。
Hmm.
私は平和主義者だよ。
Pacifist. So what is it?
ゲナウとは違ってね。
Unlike you, yeah, but what do you have in store for us? What do you have in store? No! It's so tease. And that was episode number 22 of Frieren. An all-round nice episode. Much, nicer and much slower and calmed down than previous episodes have been within this arc. This arc has, like I said at the beginning, been incredible through and through so far. And this was a really nice way to slow things down before we're going to kick things right back up again in the next episode. This episode was mostly about the different groups, parties, teams, everything that were in the previous episodes that were working together, kind of learning whether or not they can still trust one another almost. I know that Frieren and Fern, they are a team, they came here together, so there's no issue there with them hanging out with one another and potentially being future enemies. But for everyone else, there's a certain amount of wariness and a certain amount of caution, especially between Land and Ubel. Land is very, very hesitant to be related to in any kind of way Ubel, because he doesn't like her for one, but also like he's very much all about himself and keeping himself safe and doing whatever that takes. And also he just seems to be the sort of person who's maybe lonely in life, and that's to do with his clone spells, and that's related to Ubel talking about how everyone's magic is what they specialize in, tells you a lot about that person, and Virbel using the capture spell and that kind of being one of his main spells and the way he uses magic and stuff, that tells you a lot about him, and it really does. And we learned that in a previous episode, and here Land is trying to kind of dodge and evade Ubel trying to learn all about him, because she recognizes he's a bit of an outcast, he's a bit of a loner, and that's why he has these clones. It's almost like he's creating other versions of himself to occupy space or to occupy anything like that, you know? And Ubel's starting to learn that about him. Ubel wants to be able to use his magic against him potentially, and I think it would be really interesting if in this next trial that's how Ubel takes out Land. She ends up using his clone magic against him because she's learned enough about him and she's empathized with him, and that's part of her magic. She empathizes with someone and then she can use that magic against them. She can use that magic in general, rather, not just against them, just in general. We saw her using Virbel's binding spell within this episode, and she told us that that's because once she can empathize with someone, she can use their magic. And yeah, it's very curious. I don't really fully understand how that works. I think it's really just, though, interesting and cool and really funny, though, that when it comes to Fern, she will not be able to do shit. She will not be able to turn anything against Fern because Fern uses basic magic. Same with Frieren. Basic magic. Nothing special there, nothing fancy, nothing to use against them. You know, all you can do is use their basic magic spells, which you also know. So yeah, I am very curious and interested to see Ubel learn more. I want to see how much of a sponge she can be, just how much she needs to know about a person. Obviously, she didn't spend too much time with Virbel, but she got a very great glimpse into how he is because Virbel was willing to share information about himself and the way he conducts himself and holds himself and uses his magic and the way he participates in it, things that he has no control over essentially. And she got a great insight because he was willing to talk, whereas with Land, she's not getting that information out of him, so she has to stick around and observe and learn about him through that way. And I think that she's probably done enough at this point. She did say she was starting to learn about him, and I feel like at this point she knows a lot. We got some more hilarious Fern is pissed off content within this. She was so grumpy and so mad with Stark and Frieren. She's the only person who wakes up at a decent time unless she is waking up the others. And yeah, we see that Stark has slept in, Frieren slept in, and she's just not happy about it. So Frieren decides, hey, we're going to go for dinner. We're going to go get something really nice at this old place that Himmel and I went to once. And yeah, that's going to do it. We're going to cheer you up. You can get whatever you want. And that's exactly what they do. But we learn in the meantime that characters like Richter actually live here. Richter is from this area and he works as like a tinker type thing where he fixes broken like creations, broken, you know, watches, clocks, whatever it is. He is here to fix them. And yeah, we see that he's actually kind of sweet. He is with his grandmother and he fixes something simply for her and she gives him little sweets and he appreciates it, but he does, you know, comment on the fact that he's not a child anymore. And that's ironic because in the previous episode he was fighting children and he had no qualms with that. And also in the eyes of Denken and Frieren, he would be considered a child. So yeah, I just think that whole situation and scenario was kind of ironic. But Richter gets dragged along by Denken to this restaurant because Denken does not know the area. Richter does, and Denken shares with us that he came here with his wife and she is now deceased. So that kind of tells us that the person he wants to visit, the grave he wants to visit, is that of his dead wife. And honestly, that is very sad and upsetting. I hate that he can't even visit his dead wife's grave. It's so frustratingly sad that he just wants to visit her grave. Potentially. I don't know for sure it's hers, but one can only assume. And he just does not have the permission to do that because he's not a first class mage. So little wonder he's participating here. Little wonder he wants to be a first class mage. I wonder if at the end of this, if Duncan does not pass, but maybe Frieren does, or maybe Fern does, maybe they'll allow him to tag along, at least until they can get to the grave of his dead wife. I think that would be pretty interesting, and I think that would be really nice and cool, but that's jumping way into the future and trying to predict something that there's no grounds for. I think also, going back to the whole thing with land, I think that the scene with the cat kind of tells you a lot about him as well, where he saw a cat by itself and he kept the same face on his face. He didn't really change expression or anything, but he did seem to want to comfort that cat that was by itself, the little kitten, and he wanted to, you know, potentially shelter it, and he maybe empathized, and he felt like he could relate to that, where you were alone, you were lost, and you didn't have anyone despite how much you cried out or anything like that. Once he sees that the mother is there, he simply leaves it alone. He simply walks off, and you know, it's almost like you can learn about his character in that sense, that he craves companionship, but he doesn't know how to get it. I don't know how to put that into more succinct words or like a better explained sentence, but yeah, I feel like he kind of craves that, but he's also very scared of that in a way. I don't know. So then we end up at the restaurant, and Duncan walks in with his little crew and sees that Frieren's already there, and Duncan says, hey, we're going to ignore these people. They're here for the food. They're here, they look like they're having fun, and that's what this is all about. We're not here to interfere, we're not here to interrupt. But me, as a viewer, I would have loved to see an interaction between them where they were outside of this battle. I just think it would have been so cool to see them kind of rub elbows alongside one another and just talk the shit, chat shit, talk about whatever they think is coming, and just, you know, learn about one another. I think that would have been really nice, but sadly it was a missed opportunity, and that doesn't mean that we won't see them, you know, in the future talking or anything like that, but sadly it wasn't to be in this episode. They were just here for a nice meal, and that's exactly what they got. And yeah, once the food is brought out, Frieren ends up with like 1,000,000 steaks, Stark has a single omelette it looks like, and Fern gets like 3 different desserts. That surprised me. I would have expected Fern to be the one with an omelette and Stark to be the one with the desserts after the episode a while ago. I can't remember what the dessert was called, but where he was craving this dessert that he got while he was a child with Aizen, and he went to a certain bar or restaurant, whatever it was. We learn that the building looks the same as it did 50 years ago, and we learn that through Duncan, and that kind of tells you that this building is very important and they don't want to change it, and it's very relevant to this town, and you know, it just kind of tells you that this is kind of like an important place. The fact it's still open, and the fact that it hasn't changed in appearance whatsoever. And that's when, of course, we get the flashback where Frieren and Himmel are here together, and Himmel is basically requesting that the chef in this place doesn't change the flavor of the food whatsoever, and that the food flavor continues into the future. And if it's because Frieren is rather upset, where she talks about how food flavors always change, she's never been able to taste certain flavors again, and that's because in the future people will change flavors to add their own spin on it, change things up, and make them their own. And it's a little sad for her, but she doesn't really express that. She just kind of shares that she wants things to taste the same. And yeah, it's just a sad concept to think that someone who's lived this long like Frieren, even tiny small things like the flavor of a steak can change. And it's honestly something that you would never think of, right? You think about, you know, people coming and going in your life, you outliving them and everything like that, but you don't think about stuff like flavors or experiences, you know? And that's what I love about Frieren, the fact that we get to experience these things with her and see all these things that are different, see how things have changed in these past 80 plus years. I just love that we're getting to experience all of that, and I really just have so much admiration for the creator of this series. They have done an incredible job at fleshing out all of this stuff. But yeah, Frieren, funnily enough, is like, wow, chef, all that, and for what? The fact that you changed the flavor has changed in these past 80 years, and you said that it wouldn't. I think that it's both pretty sad, but also like really ironic that she was right, that people will change flavors to add their own spin and everything like that. She knew, because she's experienced it a lot in the past. And she even then goes on to say that she doesn't need to chase any greater flavor or anything like that, because she's already found a greater flavor. The flavor of the steak right now tastes better than it did 80 years ago. It tastes so much better, and she's happy, she's smiling about it. Stark really does be running into some really interesting characters, where this guy walks up to him and is like, I can't teach you anymore, you've already overcome the essence of true martial arts, or something like that. And yeah, I don't know who this guy is. I wonder if he'll show up in the future. But yeah, Frieren asks who was that, and Stark's just like, I don't know, he just shows up while I'm training and talks to me, but I'm just training. And yeah, it's just very humorous that Stark finds himself in these scenarios. And we see another scenario later on in the episode when Virbel shows up and is basically yoinks him away and takes him to go battle. He didn't want to be in that scenario, but there he was. You know, these crazy characters just show up and talk to him, right? I wonder if that's going to be a running theme in this series. And of course, the whole true essence of martial arts shows up again later with Virbel, where Virbel says that to him. And then naturally, Stark is called in to mediate for Frieren, because Frieren slept in once again, and Fern is pissed, and Fern didn't want to have to go shopping because it was Frieren's day to go shopping, but she slept in. So Stark, not knowing what to say or do here, is like, hey, so why don't we go shopping? Because Fern says she wants something sweet. She wants a sweet treat. And so Stark is like, okay, we can go. Let's go do this. And he is also equally shitting himself as much as Frieren, but he has to mediate here. He has to kind of get in between them and try to figure something out, because Ferd is giving Frieren the worst possible treatment, the silent treatment. It's a terrible thing. If anyone has ever been given the silent treatment, you know exactly what it's like. It's really funny seeing Lavine in the situation she's in, because she is very unladylike, much less ladylike than Kane. Kane is, you know, cutesy and ladylike, whereas Lavine, she is very tomboyish and very hard-headed and very hardy, I would say. And she's the one who is dressed up to the nines, you know, with a little hat on and nice dress and everything like that. I made the connection to Sophie Hatter from Howl's Moving Castle, and even the music that was accompanying a scene was very Howl's Moving Castle-esque, and I wonder if that was intentional. I don't know if it was, but it was just very adorable. And then of course we get the scene where Kane gets down on her knee and basically says that she'll treat her like a lady today, and it would be her pleasure to walk her around and everything like that. And I think Kane was being genuine and very serious here, and you know, it's something she wanted to do. But Lavine thought she was being teased, I think, and just hopped on Kane and started pulling her hair once again. And yeah, these two are never going to change, but they are adorable together. I really do love them together. It's such a sweet relationship that the two of them have, and I wonder if we're going to see that develop into anything more. I wonder what's going to happen in the second stage of this exam, if anything will happen, any developments between them. It'd be very nice to see, but if the series doesn't veer in that direction, you know, it's all going to be headcanon from there on. But then they do run into the gang. They run into Frieren, Fern, and Stark, and that's when Stark gets pulled away. But Frieren is recalling then a scene or a moment with Himmel where he questions why Himmel saves people, and Himmel simply says that he thinks it might be so that he can be remembered into the future. And Frieren questions how she can be remembered. She asks how she can be remembered, but deep down she knows nobody will remember her into the future unless another elf will. That's simply impossible. The only way then that Himmel kind of describes to her she can be remembered is for her to touch the hearts of others, for her to make others smile, and for her to change others' lives potentially so that they will remember you. Doesn't matter if you outlive them, you will still be remembered. And if you continue to do all these good deeds, you will continue to be remembered. It's all up to you, Frieren, whether you are remembered. And yeah, he says that in less words, but I'm kind of like fleshing it out a little. I'm back in English class trying to fill out a 1,000-word essay where I kind of just make a single point, just fleshing it all out. That was my specialty. And seeing Frieren smile when she's recalling those memories with Himmel, and then seeing the girls smiling, Lavine, Kane, and of course Fern. It's such an adorable, sweet smile. It's one of my favorite smiles of the series so far, and there's been some really great moments with smiles, but Frieren just staring at them smiling in a corner, she's huddled up and everything, just smiling. It means so much seeing the lessons she's learned from Himmel and seeing how she is changing throughout the series, and we really see her change so much from the beginning of the series, where she was then and where she is now. It's so cute and adorable. But then of course they're interrupted by the bird with the first class, or the first class mage second examination invitation, where they will be going to a new location, and it is being proctored by Sensei. And that's when we learn from Lavine that she has never passed anyone. She has done 4 exams before and nobody has ever passed, so that's very worrying. But I wonder if it was an intentional thing because of the amount of potential that is in this group of 18 right now. And we're even told by the guy who proctored exam 1 that this is a brutal exam, and it just makes me wonder what it is. It looks like they're in front of a coliseum. Like, it looks like it shows kind of like a coliseum kind of entrance, so I'm wondering if it will be battles. I can only assume it's going to be battles. What else could it be? Is this like the entrance to a location? Is this the entrance to a coliseum type location, or is this the entrance to maybe some sort of dungeon or something? Like, do they need to retrieve something? I don't know. Is it going to be like a tag type thing where they have to take something from someone else, like capture the flag? Like, I have no idea what's coming. I'm very, very excited though. I think it's going to be a hell of a blast, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. This arc, incredible so far. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up, I think, today. This was another fun episode. Certainly brought the hype levels down a lot, but gets me excited for the next trial to come, especially when it's being hyped up like it was at the end of this episode. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and comment down below letting me know your favorite character in this new group of characters. And of course, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when these videos go live. And yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. I hope that you're having a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.